Kia ora, and welcome to Big Boys Boxing.
I was in the gym the other day. Oh, he's out cold! Straight to his face!
Oh my goodness!
Let's take a short hook on the inside. Crap! Boom! Look, here comes another one. Here comes another one. 3 punches to the button on the inside. Short compact hook, and that man is marbleized onto the mat.
What is going on, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Today, going to give some thoughts, prediction about Joseph Parker versus Dereck Chisora 2. Also discuss some other fights on the card as well. And yeah, so without further ado, I suppose,
Let's get ready to rumble!
So, Joseph Parker, 29-2, will be taking on Dereck Chisora, who is 32-11. Derek's been in there with everybody. Excuse any background noise, got kids home. It is what it is. Son, can you be a bit quieter, please? Thank you. Derek's been in there with everybody. The 11 losses, man. Don't take the number by what it is, man. Dereck Chisora has been in there with everyone. Obviously, he lost his last fight to Dereck Chisora. The fight before that, he lost the unanimous decision to the current 3-belt unified champion in Alexander Usyk, and arguably did a better job than Anthony Joshua did in that fight. His last win was over David Price. He sparked him out of there, and he sparked out Artur Spilka also before that. Actually, he had 3 wins on the trot. He beat Sinad Gashi, who didn't really come to fight. Usually he comes to fight, but he's an out of a dude when he gets hit, as Sinad Gashi. But he lost by KO to Dillian White. Who else has he lost to? Oh, he lost to Ajit Kabial, split decision. He thinks he got robbed in that fight. He thinks he got robbed against Dillian White in the first fight too. I thought it was very close. Could have gone either way. Who else is there? Kurat Pulev. He lost the split decision to him as well, over 12. Guarantee you he thinks he got robbed on that one as well. What else have we got here? We got an RTD loss. Who was that to? Tyson Fury. Oh yeah, he quit. He did a no mas in that second fight against Tyson Fury. He lost his first fight against Tyson Fury as well. That one was a bit closer. And he also lost via KO to David Haye. I mean, the dude's been in there with everybody. He lost a unanimous decision to Vitaly Klitschko even, you know. He's been around the block. Dude's 37 years old. He's been in a lot of battles, but he doesn't seem to be showing too much wear and tear. He still comes to fight. He still presses forward every minute that he possibly can. And he thinks that's going to win him fights. But unfortunately, making the fight isn't a scoring criteria. There are 4 scoring criteria, right? We have clean, effective punching, we have ring generalship, we have defense, and shit, what was the other one? Oh my god, I can't remember. But anyway, making the fight, effective aggression. Effective aggression is what Derek's trying to say. Making the fight, but it has to be effective. If you're coming forward, throwing shitloads of body shots that are hitting arms, they're not scoring points. So a lot of the fights Dereck thinks he got robbed in, I don't think he was robbed. I mean, I watched the Edget Cabiel fight. I don't think he got robbed in that one. And the other fights that are close, that could have gone either way, you can't call those robberies either. If they're close, they can go either way. So, in my opinion, what the fudge? So my internet's gone. Give me a sec here. Damn, Ethernet cable fell out. Better check the stream's still working actually. Oh Christ. Son is not playing ball today. Yeah, just a sec team. Just making sure the stream's still going. Looks like it's still going. Not playing. Yep, it's still going. Sweet as. Alright, so Hi-Ho team, I will put a link up for everybody once I get this initial stuff out of the way, and we can get into some yarns about a whole lot of other stuff, but just trying to get this out of the way first. So Joseph Parker, 29-2. His 2 losses were unanimous decisions to Anthony Joshua, in which I thought was a closer fight than most thought. I thought it was like 8-4 to Joshua. And the Dillian White fight was a pretty close fight. We had the controversial headbutt in the first, it was in the second round, combined with a bit of a punch that put Joseph Parker down. The ref didn't call the headbutt. And Joe was concussed for a few rounds. But prior to that headbutt, he was outboxing Dillian comfortably. He was concussed for a few rounds, then he got knocked down again. Just a sec, I gotta sort this kid out. Bloody kid messing with the modem, and he made shit fall out. Now his Netflix ain't working. Tough cucker, you can deal with it. Right, so where were we? He's Joseph Parker's best win is definitely the Andy Ruiz win. Many say that Andy Ruiz was robbed, and Dereck Chisora says it was a home cooking decision, but fact of the matter is there was no New Zealand officials for that fight. They were all neutral. There was nobody had any home advantage. The only home advantage was the crowd cheering. And I had that fight 7-5. It is what it was. His next best win, I guess, it's either a Carlos Takam or a Huey Fury, really, isn't it? Or a Dereck Chisora. So there's still plenty for Joseph Parker to prove. He seems like he's been around for quite a while, but he is only 29 years old. He turns 30 in January. But I'll tell you what, I've heard him speak of it. If he can't get past Dereck Chisora, then he doesn't belong in the top of boxing, and it might be time to retire. I've heard him say it. So if he loses this fight against Dereck Chisora, I'm pretty damn sure he will retire, and that'll be the last we'll see of him. Whereas Dereck Chisora, doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he ain't retiring. He loves fighting too much. I think he'll continue until he's about 40. But anyways, into my prediction, and then I'll open up the panel for anybody who might like to jump on and have a yarn about any of the fights on the cards. There is another heavyweight fight on the card as well, with Alan Babick facing some bum. But also wanted to talk about David Niagara in his second professional fight. He'll be fighting Anthony Carpin, his name is Frenchman. But anyways, my prediction for this fight is I think we are finally going to see an improvement in Joseph Parker. I know he's been saying it for so long, and it's been the same old shit. I mean, the dude's got great athleticism, he's got good speed, he's got enough pop to bother anybody, he's got pretty decent feet, he's got a decent jab, but he's never been able to put it all together effectively against a decent level opponent. Now he's had more time, he's had months instead of weeks with Andy Lee, so their fighter-coach relationship would have developed. A lot of the things Andy Lee had been trying to put into him should have sunk in, and we should see results. If we don't, hang him up, Joe. Hang him up, mate, because whatever skills you have, if you can't put them together on the night, it doesn't matter how good you are. So I'm thinking it's going to be the usual from Dereck Chisora. We're going to see him come forward, try and get the knockout for the first 4 rounds before it starts get. Oh, for fuck's sake, child. Hopefully that sorts him out. Jesus, whingy little prick. Sorry about that thing. But anyways, yeah, I've got Joseph Parker boxing his way defensively for the first few rounds. He might pick up 1, maybe 2 out of those first 2 rounds. But after 4, I think we're going to start seeing Joseph starting to put his foot on the gas a little bit more. I think we're going to see a lot more jabbing in this fight, and I'd like to see him timing Dereck Chisora lunging in with an uppercut. I mean, I rewatched that the last fight last night, and I seen him trying to wait for Dereck to make that move and trying to pop a stiff jab to stop him coming in, but it leaves him open for an overhand right if he misses that jab, because his jab hand's out. So I'd like to see him step to his right and throw the right uppercut, or step left, get it around the inside, the outside of the right hand that's coming, and throw the left uppercut or the left hook. But yeah, I'm picking Joseph Parker to wear down Dereck Chisora and stop him in the 10th. And I'm fully aware that if Joe doesn't put it together, we're probably going to end up with another controversial close decision. But I'm putting it out there this time. Joseph has no excuses not to put it together this time. Alright? So that's my thoughts on it. Okay, so damn, I think I might have just messed up my Discord settings. Hold on, team. I'll just have to make sure my mic and things is gonna work. What do we got here? Output, that's right. Input, that's right. Should be fine. We have a little test. Yeah, that seems to be working. Rightio, so I'm getting over to Discord, and I'm going to drop a link in the chat for anybody who may like to jump on, have a yarn. I'm sure many have plenty to say, and there's some other fights to talk about on that card as well. So get into, there we go. I am in the live panel, and post a link for y'all. There is the link. Can I pin it from here? Yes, I can. Pin to the top there for anybody who may like to join. So we'll get a bit of a roll call going. We have the Boxing Lounge, Tommy Temper in the house. Hope you are well, brother. We got Blackout in as well. Good to see you, man. What's good? Got Steven in the house as well, aka Mala Mala Tutu. Oh, I can't even remember the numbers. Mala. Sorry, bro. Who else we got in here? We got the Chinese Yoda, aka Pigeon Mike Tyson, also in the house. Good to see you, man. We're still here. That's good. Yeah, my internet, my son messing with my modem while my back is turned. It's not good. Phil Carl Roberts also in the house. Good to see you, bro. Puching. Yes. Right. Into some of these comments here. The white fight was really a draw if they scored the second round 10-9, which they should have too, shouldn't they? Because Dillian didn't win the rest of the round, and I noticed they did that with Teofimo and George Kambosos. A lot of the judges scored the first round a 10-9 round to Kambosos because he won. No, sorry, they scored a 10-9 round to Kambosos, but Teofimo won the rest of the round, didn't he? So that's why that fight got scored the way it did. It can be done. But yeah, that was a point Kevin Barry had made for quite a time after that fight. It could have been a draw. Hello, Dillian White didn't want any of that smoke, did he? Afterwards, controversial, but no, we'll move on. Which is kind of contrary to what he did with Dereck Chisora. The first fight was close. He got the split decision win, and then he rematched him. It wasn't straight away though. I don't think it was a few fights down the track, but he did rematch him. Why wouldn't he rematch Parker? Was he a bit worried he might get beaten? But yeah, it is what it is. Joe's taken. This is the first rematch of Joseph Parker's career so far. So it's like the first gauge, and it's also interesting because he only had 5 weeks with Andy Lee the first time around, and he had some distractions with moving away from his family and his name being released in New Zealand in a drug trafficking case, and he ran away the day before his name got released. Hasn't been back since. He had a bit of shit going on.
Stop!
Shush! Kids. But this time there's no distractions. He's got his family over there with him now, and he's had months with Andy Lee, so there's not really any type of excuse this time. It's the same opponent. If there's not improvements, then can he improve? I don't know. Anyway, we have Tommy Temper in the house. How are you today, brother? The Boxing Lounge. Tommy, you there, mate? You got no green rings, mate. Something up with your mic. You might have the wrong mic. There we go. I'll see if I can unmute you. No, I can't. You're muted. Can I unmute you? Let's try.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. We got you now, brother. How you doing, man?
Yo, Jono, can you hear me?
I got you.
Because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay, I think I did mess up my settings. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Oh. I was just muted on Discord. What a dumbass.
There's me going through all the settings trying to work out what I've done wrong.
Yeah, no, just muted my Discord and forgot about it. Anyways, how you doing anyway, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Are you looking forward to this fight, or is it a bit of a meh for you?
No, it's an intriguing one because, sorry, I didn't hear the last few minutes of you speaking. Are you still talking about Chisora, Parker?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I was just going through some comments.
Yeah, because the first fight was close, but you got to look at it this way. Derek's going to get worse at this point in his career. He's not really going to get better unless he fights smarter at the beginning of the fight. Parker's kind of, was he 31 now?
29, mate. Not even 30.
29?
Yep.
Oh, shit. All right, well, he's basically at his peak, so he's, in theory, should be the best he's going to be coming into the rematch. So the odds are kind of more in his favor now for the rematch. Now, the question is Dereck going to fade significantly more than he did in the first fight, and then can Joseph then jump on him and then take him out when he's winded or gassed? Because I think that's more than likely it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think we'll see too much change from Dereck, but I think having Dave Caldwell in the corner this time may possibly get him to jab a bit more on his way in, which could be a positive for him. Possibly not throwing quite so many heavy shots in those first few rounds and gassing so early. But yeah, the age at 37 and him being in so many wars over the years, it's got to be adding up sooner or later, doesn't it? So
yeah,
yeah, I can see Joe beating him either way, either stoppage or UD, but there's always that chance with Dereck. He could land that one big punch and we could see Joseph Parker knocked out for the first time. He says he's going for the knockout, so will he? I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, when Dereck does throw a haymaker, he puts everything into it, and in my opinion, they're not exactly the fastest punches. And if you've got an eye for it, you should be able to read it. I'm referring to the Takam punch.
Yeah.
Takam should have seen that punch coming, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Takam's pretty long in the tooth as well, and your reactions are one of the first things to go when you get older, eh? So.
No, especially when you're tired, it's harder to react.
But I don't know, man. I think Derek's probably he's always gives it his 150%. But yeah, I just can't see him beating Joe at this point. Like I've said earlier in the stream, I think if Joe loses this fight, he'll retire before he's 30. But we won't get rid of Dereck, though. We won't get rid of Dereck no matter what happens.
So does that mean that Joseph will actually do something that David was supposed to do?
Well, maybe.
Retire at 30?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this extra time with Andy Lee, I think, and being the same opponent, if he can't put it all together like he's been saying for freaking years, under a new coach, he's had the time with him, same opponents, and we know what we're going to get. If he can't do that, then I'm just going to stop watching him, even if he continues, because I'm sick of getting my hopes up for my countryman. I know he can do better, you know, but he just never freaking does. So yeah.
Well, what about the scenario where, let's say he starts his Chisora, what next for him?
Well, I guess he's got to look at a WBO track to a title. I know Frank Warren keeps saying Joe Joyce is mandatory for the WBO, but I haven't seen anything from the WBO yet, so I think that's a possibility, a final eliminator for the WBO mandatory position against Joe Joyce. It'd be a pretty decent fight, but yeah.
Yeah, I got Parker in that fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't really make a call on that one if it happened until I've seen an improved Joseph Parker. If it's not an improved Joseph Parker, I think he gets stopped late against Joyce. But
Really? Wow.
well, Joyce is slow, but he just keeps coming, man. He keeps coming,
true.
and I think he could wear Joseph Parker down. I mean, Joe's got a pretty good gas tank most of the time, but it's a different kind of pressure from Joe Joyce. It's not all over you pressure like Dereck Chisora, is it? It's just constantly slow plodding, and it keeps coming, and it keeps thudding, and it wears guys down no matter who you are. But if this fight goes as planned, and well, not necessarily as planned, if let's say Joe Parker does starch Dereck Chisora, I think there'll be a bit more value in his name all of a sudden, and he could get a lot of other fights as well. But it's a common theme with Parker. Nobody really wants to fight him unless it's for a title or a final eliminator, because he's the kind of fighter who can make people look really bad with his movement and his speed and his evasiveness. So I don't know.
I think he needs to have a rematch with Dillian White before he retires.
I hope so. That's one fight I really want to see. There was too much left up in the air and too much controversy around that first fight. It needs to be run back. So I guess if Dillian White has his run at Tyson Fury, and I expect him to lose that, no offense to Dillian, he'll put in his best effort, I'm sure, but I think Tyson will beat him. I think that's a great fight for Dillian. After that, a rebuild fight for him, and let's see if he can do it again to Joe without the headbutt. So, yeah, interesting. You got a prediction for the fight?
Parker on points.
Parker on
points. I'll go safe.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Definitely.
Well, if I was going to put a bet down, that would be the safe bet.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be the most likely method the bookies are backing. I haven't even looked at it yet, but yeah, we'll see. But I can I've got him by knockout in the 10th, but you got him by stoppage, man.
I got no beef.
I got no beef with that. So it's all good. Alright, we'll have a look at some of the other fights on the card. We've got another Kiwi boy on the card. David Niagara, the Olympic bronze medalist at heavyweight, which is cruiserweight in the amateurs, obviously. He'd be fighting in his second professional fight, and he's fighting a dude called Anthony Carpin, who is 5'6" from France. Pretty much a standard kind of like opponent for an up-and-comer, looking at the record. But I went and had a look at a couple of this guy's fights last night, and he's not the kind of guy who's going to come in and lie down just because it's a prospect that's going to go balls to the wall. He looks like he's going to fight, and he looks like he's got a bit of patience. So he tries to pick his shots. He's got a little bit of power, and he's only been stopped once. So looking forward to seeing how David Niagara looks as a pro. He's been training with Joe and Tyson and Jordan Thompson, and Sonny Bill Williams has been in camp with them as well. So we'll see how David looks. I'm looking forward to just seeing him out. You interested in that one at all, mate?
I'd be lying if I said yes.
Fair enough, yeah. Okay.
All right, Jonah, I'm going to bounce. I just wanted to jump on and give my 2 pence about the Dereck and Joe fight, but thanks for having me on, mate. And
Sweet
I'll catch you
as.
later.
Anytime, Tommy. Thanks for dropping in.
Cheers. Bye.
Alright, so looking at some other fights on the card as well. A super welterweight fight there. Cyrus Pattinson. Don't know the dude, 2-0. fighting Evgeny Vezin. I don't care about that one. I'm just gonna look at the ones that I care about. Super lightweight fight, Sandy Ryan, becoming prospect 2-0, taking on Maria, another one I don't care about or can't pronounce, 7-13, so it's not going to be worth looking at that fight. Right, let's get to the one that Alan Bavick has got another fight. Very short notice. I didn't even notice him on the card until like yesterday. I don't know if he's just been a recent addition or what, but I did see him on a video talking about his opponent complaining about short notice, but he's been short notice as well. But his opponent, David Spilmont, I've never heard of the, well, actually I think I might have heard of the name. He's 11-7-1. I'll have a quick look at his stats here. 11-7-1. He's got 7 KOs. 2 times he's been stopped out of the 7 losses. He is another Frenchman. Wow, they've got 2 Frenchies on the card. What else have we got here? He's 6'3", so he's slightly taller than Alan Bavick. What does he usually weigh? Let's have a quick look. He usually weighs about 249 was his last, 250 was his last, 258 before that, 254. Okay, so he's considerably bigger than Bavick, so he's like a Mark Bennett kind of size. Yeah, I don't hold much hope for this guy. Let's just see if he's fought anybody of note. His last fight actually was a split decision draw against Cyril McKigdy. McKigdy? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. MAKIGDI. McKigdy. He was 13-2. Okay. That guy seems not that bad. 13-2 was his last loss. Was a UD loss over 10 rounds. Nicholas Wamba. I've heard of that name before. He's 6-0. African fighter, I think. Yeah, okay. Alright, not looking too deep into that. Alan Bavick's going to knock him out in the first or second round, in my opinion. But another one of Joe's stablemates, Jordan Thompson, cruiserweight, is going to be fighting. He's 11-0, and he's going to be taking on Clement Opinot. Opinot. I don't know. Oppenot. Opinot. Who's 5-1. Now, initially, when David Naika was said to be on this card, BoxRec had him fighting Jordan Thompson as a second professional fight, and I was like, that's a bit rough on David Naika, isn't it? And then I discovered the stablemates, and they'll be getting other opponents. So expect Jordan Thompson to win this one in decent fashion and move onwards and upwards. Now the co-main event is Zalfa Barrett, 26-1. He is going to be taking on Bruno Torino. It's a decent kind of fight, I think. Zalfa Barrett coming off a decent win in his last fight, I think, off the top of my head. Better have a look to make sure. Yeah, coming off a RTD win over 4. I'm pretty sure I watched that fight. Viral Simeon. I don't know the dude. No, it can't have been the one I watched. But he does have a loss on his record to Zalfa Barrett, and I can't remember off the top of my head who it was to. It was a majority decision loss over 12 to Romy Clark, who at the time was 24-2. So Zalfa Barrett, he kind of needs this win to move onwards and upwards. Bruno Torino, 26-2 and 2 draws. I'm pretty sure if he wins this, it'll be a big deal for him. He's coming off a couple of wins. He's a win and a draw in his last 2 fights. His technical decision draw was against Paul Fleming. That was 2 fights ago. But his last fight, he won over Kai McKenzie. Oh, I've seen that fight. I remember seeing that one. I can't remember what card it was on. Just scrolling down to find a loss on his record. Unanimous decision loss to Billy Dibb. Oh my god. He lost a unanimous decision to Billy Dibb. I mean, Zalfa Barrett's no knockout artist or anything extremely special. But if he can't stop this dude who got beaten by Billy Dibb, give it up, mate. Give it up, mate. Anyways, and then there's the main event, which we've already talked about. So I'll get back over to the chat and see what y'all are talking about. Let us know your predictions for Parker v Chisora with the method of victory and a specific round if you're picking a stoppage. I mean, it's not exactly rocket science if you're going to say if Parker's going to stop him, it's going to be in the second half. The 6-12 Parker isn't really an accurate pick, you know. Typical Babic opponents at this stage of his career, yeah, it sucks. I'd like to see him against Hemi Ohio. I've been screaming that fight for ages. Babic's saying he wants to go for the Bridgerweight world title after he gets this dude out of the way. And have the WBC even got rankings for Bridgerweight? Better go and have a look at that. Let's have a look. Bridgerweight rankings. What comes up? Bridgerweight World Boxing Council comes up. Yeah, Oscar Rivas is the champion, right? At Bridgerweight. Got his whole profile there. I just want the rankings, man. There we go. Here we go. Yevgeny Romanov. Small heavyweight, lots of power, and very accurate. He's number 1. Ranked. So Babic's got to be in here to be able to challenge for it. Lukas Rozansky. He's the guy who ended Izu Yagono's career. And Izu went back to Poland, dropped off training with Kevin Barry, took on a new coach, jumped in the ring with Lukas Rozansky. It didn't look like he wanted to be there. I think he got stopped in like 4 rounds or something. It was crazy. Oh, there he is. Alan Babic is number 3. Okay, that is interesting. Joel Tomboy Jeko, he's in there as well. Number 4, he's the guy who put on a decent performance against Tony Yoka. Who's this dude? Bilal Laguna? Yeah, I've heard the Laguna name. I don't know who he is though. I haven't seen him. He's a Belgian fighter. Who else we got here? Oh my god, they got Andre Fedosov. What the hell is he doing in there? I guess it's pretty thin on who wants to pay sanctioning fees for Bridgerweight because it's not recognized. So, yeah, Andrei Fedosov is in there at number 6. Samuel Keddy. Who the hell is that? I don't know who Samuel Keddy is. He's number 7th. He's from France. Who else we got here? A name that I can't pronounce. Aliev is his last name. I'm not going to attempt the first name. He's a Russian fighter at number 8. Ruslan Pfeiffer at number 8. Far out. Looks like there's a whole lot of guys who are planning on making a... They got Arthur Spilker at number 10. Dude's toast, man. He's toast. What's he still doing in rankings? Full stop. Oh my. Carlos Welch. Never heard of that dude either. He's a US fighter. He's number 11. Number 12 is Alexander Teslenko, who just got knocked the fuck out last weekend. We know who he is. He's a Ukrainian fighter. Isaac Chamberlain. Okay. Isaac Chamberlain's going for... He's paying sanctioning fees for Bridgerweight as well. Interesting. Don't like watching that fight. That dude fight. He's boring as shit. Who else we got here? Or another one I don't know. How do we say this? Giovanni Bruzan. Never heard of that. Oh, I might have heard of him. He's a Cuban. Giovanni Bruzan. He's number 14. And number 15, we have Elvis Garcia. The Hemia here isn't even in there, but if you don't pay a sanctioning fee to this, why would you be in there? But Hemia here currently holds a WBC belt at heavyweight, being the Middle Eastern heavyweight title, who he won in his last fight where he fought in Dubai. Who was the guy's name? Someone Ali Bayat. Muhammad Ali Bayat Farid was his name. There you go. Shit, I can't remember some names. But we got more. We've got a couple more on these rankings here. We've got Jerry Forrest at number 16. I think he should be for well further up. Above these guys that I've never even heard of, at least. But anyways, number 17 is Sine Gashi. Meh, I guess he's maybe probably about right there at 17. Maybe he should be a bit lower. We've got Alexander Frank at number 18. We'll just go to 20, okay? And we got... Oh my god, Paul Gallen, the Aussie Rugby League player, is in there. He's number 19. So he must be paying sanctioning fees for that too. And I've also got Devin Vargas. He's number 20 in the US. I'll just have a quick scroll through and see if I spot any names. Oh, we got Peter Melis at 21. Decent fighter. What else we got? Anyone else I recognize? Muhammad. Fuck. This guy Muhammad, his last name is Farkhan. Muhammad fucking. What a poor bastard having a last name like that. And I can't really... Yeah, there's not really any more names that I recognize down there. But there's some WBC Bridgerweight rankings there. I think there's a lot more smaller heavyweights. If they wanted to pay sanctioning fees and get into that, they could get into the rankings, no problem. But It is what it is, man. Alright, so I'm back to the chat, y'all. James Jameson in the house. Good to have you in. Nanu, brother. I think Parker on points, says Phil Carl Roberts. Yeah, that's what I reckon's gonna happen if Joe ain't showing any improvements. And I'll be pissed off. He's had everything right. Yeah, innocent Joseph Parker. Here we go. Yes. We know, James. Shake up the world. Too many weight divisions. Yeah, I think they should get rid of all of the intermediate weight divisions, all the super weights or junior weight divisions, whatever you want to call them. You get rid of all of them until you get to the bigger weights where it's quite a big difference. Like, I guess from welterweight up, I think the intermediate should stay, like the 154, 168, and I think cruiserweight should be brought down to 190 like it used to be. And I think bridgerweight is a good weight division. I think it's right, but those small weight divisions where you've got 4 pounds between weight divisions, that's just too much, man. That's too much. We got 118. So yeah, like 135's cool. 130 should go. 126 is cool. 122 should go. 118's cool. 112 should go. I think it's 112. Not as educated on those real small divisions, so yeah, I don't mind the bridgeweight division, but cruiserweight should come down 10 pounds more, because from 175 to 200 is too far. 175 to 190, make it 15 pounds rather than 25. Then 190 to 220. I don't like 224. I like 220 better. And then 220 up heavyweight. That's how I would have it anyway, if I had anything say in it. But you know, I'm just a fan. I don't have a say in shit. Nanu nanny nan. What's that one? I've never heard that one. That's a new one from Mork. I have seen good fights at bridgerweight. Yeah, they have been good fights, and those guys who, I guess a lot of people call them tweeners, too big for cruiser but too small for heavy, because of the size of heavyweights these days. There needs to be something in there, I think. But yeah, once again, there's far too many divisions. The ones with the very small weight gap between them, I think would be a good idea to get rid of them, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, man. We're never going to see divisions get taken away, because the governing bodies, they want those sanctioning fees, don't they? Boxing started with 9 weight divisions, not 20, including bridgerweight. Yeah. Now what have we got to? Joe, in your pusher. Oh, I'm your pusher. That sounds a bit gay. Parker by KO 6-12. Yeah, no, that's not a prediction. Pick around, man. 6-12. That's not a prediction. It is with the bookies, but yeah. Come on, Hannibal. You know the deal, mate. You're gonna make a prediction on here. Gotta pick around. Good to have you in anyway, bro. What do we got? Oh, moved on me. There we go. Johnny and chat. Were you impressed with Loma against Comey? I was impressed with how Loma handled Comey, but I was not impressed with him letting Comey get off the hook in the 7th round, and I think he did it again in the 12th. He could have stopped him. Where's the killer instinct? Was he betting on himself to win by decision? Pissed me right off. I had $10 on 2 different bets on that fight, and both of them had Loma by KO. And he stood there and looked at him and let him off the hook. Pissed me right off, man. Lost me over $140. Well, I didn't spend that money. Like I said, I only had $10 on the bets, but he lost me $140 in winnings out of $10. Pissed me right off. Really pissed me right off. But Loma did look good. I gotta say that. He looked very good with his movement, his timing. He got caught with a couple of shots here and there, but he really made Richard Comey look like a very slow, ordinary boxer, didn't he? Credit to Comey, he's got a big heart, and he did try his best. He didn't give up, so... but yeah, to me, right now, it's looking like Loma is the best at 135 right now, for me. From when Loma got beaten by Tio, I thought if they have a rematch, Loma will beat him. But Tio looked real shit against Kambosos. Getting rid of Joey Camash was a bad mistake on his point. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I reckon Kambosos and Haney are going to fight next. And I don't think Kambosos will beat Haney, to be honest. Kambosos needs someone coming at him to do his best work, and Haney ain't going to be doing that. I don't know. George can turn around and get more aggressive and see what happens. I don't have much faith in Haney's chin, but I think Loma beats all of them, to be honest. Yes, I agreed. He could have stopped Comey. Where'd it go? His leg. Where'd it go? Disappeared. It was Kambosos. I would go for Haney. I don't think Kambosos will beat Loma. Nah. I don't think Kambosos can beat Loma either, but he's a bit bigger, you know. If he can land something with a bit of authority and get a bit of respect from Loma in the first while, maybe he can do kind of what Tio did, but I just don't see Kambosos being aggressive enough and hitting hard enough to do that to Loma. Where am I? Lost my spot. James Jameson. How old is Chizzy now? 37, bro. 37. Parker's 29. He'll be 30 in January. I guess that's what you mean when you say Chizzy. They forced the issue there. However, the ref should also have had a look at Comey. Yeah, well, he was stumbling a bit. But this is the hurt game, man. When you hurt a guy, if the ref's not stopping you from punching, you gotta punch. You gotta do your job. It's the hurt game. Where's the killer instinct? That really pissed me off with Loma, man. Really did piss me off. There's quite a few of us betting men who are very pissed off about that. From Loma. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, never mind. Flush that money down the fucking toilet. 38 on the 29th of December. Oh, he's going to be 38 before, so he's going to be 38 before Joe's 30. Wow. Thanks, Phil seems to have been around for a long time. Yeah. Well, even Joe seems to have been around for ages. People tend to forget how young he was. He was only 20, I think he was 24 when he became world champion, and that's only the 4th youngest heavyweight titleist of all time. So, you know, he has been around for a while. If Huey Fury had have beaten him, he would have been the third or second youngest heavyweight titleist ever. But he didn't. Yes, I feel Kambosos needs to get aggressive and fight Haney hard. Yeah, I agree. Haney doesn't seem to deal with heavy pressure that well, so he could possibly get aggressive. I haven't seen Kambosos fight extremely aggressive. Even against Lee Selby, he was kind of in and out of the pocket, not trying to press too hard. So yeah, if he tried to do that to Loma, Kambosos that is, I think he'd get sparkoed though. He'd get broken down for 6 rounds and then stopped. But you never know. Kambosos seems to have a real good heart. He doesn't panic when he gets in trouble. He's got pretty decent ring IQ. It's just whether his hands can do what his brain wants his hands to do, you know. But down the track, we may get to find out. But like I say, I'm predicting Kambosos will fight Haney next. Haney's already said that he's happy to go to Australia to do it, so we'll see. I gave Ortiz 4 rounds against Haney. I wasn't impressed with Haney. No, I haven't been that impressed with Haney either. I mean, he does have some skills and evasiveness, and he's pretty quick, but he doesn't deal with pressure well, and when he gets whacked on the chin, he doesn't seem to deal well with that either. Doesn't seem to like it whatsoever. Yeah, my son's trying to sing in the background. Excuse the noise, team. I can understand Loma not wanting to scramble Comey. Ego but could gone to the body. Yeah. Well, man, if you're in the hurt game and you're worried about hurting someone, fuck, you're in the wrong game, man. Simple as that. You're there to hurt somebody, beat them up until they can't fight back anymore. Not to say, hey ref, are you gonna stop this? Hey corner, why don't you stop it? Your man's hurt. Can't have been that hurt because he managed to last the rest of the damn fight, didn't he? And he still kept throwing. I think it was a mistake from Loma. Bad mistake. But anyway, that's just my opinion. He wants to get more rounds in and be a gentleman. Knockouts get more attention than skills. It's just a fact. And the casual fans are the ones that pay the bills, aren't they? They're the ones who buy the pay-per-views. So get the knockouts, your stock goes up. Just beat a guy that you could have stopped. Everyone talks about, oh, you could have stopped him. Why didn't you? Okay, that's the way I see it anyway. Any thoughts on Artur Beterbiev and Marcus Brown? Yeah, Artur Beterbiev's gonna knock Marcus Brown out in about 5 rounds. I mean, Marcus Brown's a decent boxer, but he runs hot and cold. Some days he looks good, some days he looks like he's scared to be in there. He's got good feet, he's got a decent jab, fairly quick hands. And he can actually punch pretty hard when he sits down on his punches, but he moves so much he doesn't sit down enough. Beterbiev He cuts off the ring really well. So the movement from Marcus Brown, I don't think it'll last. I think it'll last a couple of rounds before Beterbiev cuts off the exits with hooks to the body and upstairs. And he'll get stuck in a corner. Beterbiev will knock him out in 4 or 5, I reckon. But that's just my thoughts. I mean, it's possible it could go a hell of a lot longer, but I can't see Marcus Brown getting out of that fight without kissing the canvas. Sugar Ray unfortunately killed the man in the ring. Yeah, he did. He did. And so did Kovalev, you know? And Kovalev didn't want to keep punching the dude, but the ref didn't stop the fight. And the opponent knows what they're in for. And if they're that badly hurt, your health is more important than your pride. Take a fucking knee. It's not hard. It is one of the unfortunate parts of boxing. Somebody who doesn't know, they let their pride get in the way. No, you're not going to knock me out. No, you're not going to knock me down. There's a fine line between being hard and stupid. It's not the guy who's throwing the punch's fault if he kills somebody, is it? That comes down to the referee and the officials. But the fighter has to have that killer instinct, in my opinion. It's alright, you know, asking a ref to stop the fight, that's fine, but you keep punching while you're doing it. You keep punching it, that's just part of the game, man. It's part of the game. It sucks, but it's part of the game. And I don't think Richard Comey was close to getting killed. That's why he lasted the rest of the fight. Hindsight's a wonderful thing when it comes to those sorts of things, but yeah, like I say, it's the hurt game. You're there to hurt the other man, and you don't stop until the ref tells you to. Simple as. The only sport you don't play. That's right. That's right, James Jameson. It's not a game. You want to play a game, go and play soccer or rugby or tennis or stupid American football or some shit. You know? It ain't no game. The closest thing to a game you could say about it is the hurt game. Mark Breland tried to look out for Wilder. Show how he was treated. Yeah, oh, fuck, Wilder was stupid doing that. That was stupid from Deontay Wilder. See, he's another fighter who lets his pride get in the way. Lets his pride get in the way of common sense. But it is what it is, man. You can't force these fighters to do what they should do. That third Wilder Fury fight. Was horrific by the end. It would have stopped it. I would have stopped it, yeah, I think I would have too. Before that last round started in the 11th, I would have pulled him out of there in the 10th or somewhere there. It was getting too... He's getting hit with too many hellacious shots, not answering back with enough, and what he was landing when he threw back was doing nothing, because he was done. Absolutely done. Mark Breland was happy for Wilder to get killed. Yeah, some fucking friend he is, eh? But he's an ass kiss. He needed to do that to keep his job. He's more worried about keeping his job and staying in the limelight, getting some camera time, because he ain't getting it in the ring anymore. He's just another yes man, as Malik Scott. I mean, I do think Malik Scott has plenty of boxing knowledge and makes a pretty good trainer, but he's still a yes man. Just another ass kiss. Is Parker still huge in New Zealand? Parker was never really huge in New Zealand. Honestly, it's not a massive sport down here. He got a lot of publicity when he fought Carlos Takam. That attracted quite a few casuals. Obviously, when he fought Andy Ruiz down here, there was a bit of media attention, but that faded pretty quickly when it ended up a split decision. And then pretty much when he lost to Anthony Joshua, every casual that had jumped on board disappeared back to rugby. It's only hardcore boxing fans that really knew about Joseph Parker down here anymore. And it's the same. I mean, he's a household name down here, but people really don't follow what the hell he's doing. The casuals, anyway. Parker's rep has taken a hit in New Zealand, yeah. And that drug trafficking debacle didn't help him. Mr. Innocent Joseph Parker, as James Jameson says, yeah, running away the day before his name got released from name suppression with involvement in that case was not a good look. Not a good look, man. Tua was the man down here. Now Tua, plant-based boxing, he still is a big name down here, even though he's 450 pounds and can just about roll down a motorway. He's still a big name, still a huge name down here. His son's fighting now too, by the way. Once innocent, he was never proven innocent, bro. They just didn't have enough evidence to convict him. All they had was text messages to the guys who he was in court with, and the two guys that got jail time. But it is what it is, man. Done and dusted. I don't think Joe's been back to New Zealand since. So once innocent Joseph Parker wins another world title, will probably be New Zealand Prime Minister. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. We only have women Prime Ministers down here these days. Yeah, Tua was our best fighter. I guess. Shush you! You can say Tua was our best fighter if you don't consider, what's his name? The fighter that came from the UK back in the day. Was a New Zealand citizen, became light heavyweight champion. Bob Fitzsimmons. Bob Fitzsimmons technically is probably our best boxer. Now, if you're going to argue New Zealand born, well, David Tua wasn't born in New Zealand either. So, really, Joseph Parker's our best boxer, isn't he? New Zealand born. Pretty sad. We at the Tua v Cameron fight. No, I watched it on pay-per-view. I wasn't in the correct city at the time. And I was still working on fishing boats. So we had a pay-per-view. We had satellite TV and we had pay-per-view on the boat watching that fight. He was still a tuna fisherman back then. Fitzsimmons, yeah, that was him. Bob Fitzsimmons. Yes, alright, so how long have we been on for? Been on for our hour. My kids are screaming out for attention, so we will have the press conference for this fight tomorrow, I believe, and the weigh-in on Saturday. This is all New Zealand time, because it is Thursday here already. Thursday the 16th, and it is already 10:40 AM here, so yeah. I see there was a media workout for the undercard. It's up on the Matchroom Boxing site. I imagine there's probably going to be a Parker v Chisora workout, possibly separately, I don't know. But yeah, man, my prediction for the fight is Joseph Parker, 10th round stoppage. I'll call it TKO. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of looking forward to the fight. I might do a live stream for it. We'll see how we go. But no, it's on the hard out Christmas shopping weekend, so I'll have the kids and the missus will be out. It'll be worse background noise than usual, but we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on the channel. There may be a live commentary stream pop up on Saturday evening or something. Hopefully I'll be able to get one done. I'd like to do a live for that one, so yeah, stay tuned to the channel, and we will see how we go on Saturday or Sunday New Zealand time. And I think where is it? I'm just looking for something here. Here we go. I think I'm about to
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
We shall catch you next time, team. Take care. Stay away from the Rona. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Peace, I'm out.
So that's us for today. I hope you have enjoyed. You can show your appreciation with a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out our Discord community, where you can find boxing news, fight links, live streamed fights, and much more. So look after yourself and your family. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!